The origin of the Charlie Charlie Challenge is shrouded in mystery, lost to the swirling mists of time. Some whisper of ancient Mexican rituals, of malevolent entities summoned with crossed sticks. Others claim it's a modern fabrication, a viral sensation born in the digital age. Whatever its true beginnings, the Charlie Charlie Challenge spread like wildfire, consuming the globe in a wave of terrified fascination. It wormed its way into schools and homes, captivating teenagers with its promise of forbidden knowledge and chilling encounters. The rules were simple, deceptively so. 2 pencils, balanced precariously on a sheet of paper, formed a makeshift cross. Yes and no were scrawled in opposite quadrants. Then a question uttered in a hushed voice hung heavy in the air. "Charlie, Charlie, are you there?" The game's simplicity was its strength, a low barrier to entry that drew countless participants into its web. A handful of common household items, a few whispered words, and suddenly a portal to the unknown had been opened. Social media became the engine of the challenge's viral spread. Videos of trembling pencils, seemingly moving on their own, flooded platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Eyewitness accounts, often exaggerated and fueled by adrenaline, painted terrifying pictures of demonic presences and malevolent entities. The game's popularity exploded. It was a perfect storm of teenage curiosity, digital age virality, and the timeless allure of the unknown. Schools buzzed with whispers of the challenge, hallways alive with hushed conversations about who had dared to play and what they had experienced. The terror of the Charlie Charlie Challenge lay not in its complexity, but in its simplicity. It was a game that required nothing more than a few pencils and a piece of paper, yet it had the power to send shivers down the spine of even the bravest souls. It was the fear of the unknown, the primal instinct that told us to avoid dark corners and whispered voices. The challenge tapped into our deepest fears, the ones that lurk in the back of our minds, waiting to be awakened. The very act of summoning an unknown entity, of attempting to pierce the veil between our world and the next, filled participants with a sense of dread. The flickering candlelight, the hushed whispers, and the tension in the air all contributed to an atmosphere thick with anticipation and fear. The moving pencils, seemingly imbued with a life of their own, were a physical manifestation of that fear, a tangible sign that something somewhere had heard their call. Each slight movement was a reminder of the unknown forces at play. The game preyed on our deepest anxieties, our innate fear of the dark and the things that lurked within it. It was a psychological trap, exploiting our natural tendencies to imagine the worst possible scenarios. It was a reminder that we are not alone in the universe, that there are forces beyond our understanding, and that sometimes it's best to leave those forces undisturbed. The challenge served as a stark warning of the dangers of meddling with the unknown. Section 4. Encounters with the Unknown. Stories of terrifying encounters with the Charlie Charlie Challenge spread like wildfire, each more chilling than the last. There were tales of objects moving on their own, doors slamming shut, and disembodied voices whispering from the shadows. Some claimed to have seen fleeting glimpses of dark figures lurking at the edge of their vision. Others spoke of sudden chills, a feeling of being watched, or an overwhelming sense of dread that lingered long after the game had ended. While many of these stories were undoubtedly embellished, fueled by fear and the desire for attention, some accounts remained deeply unsettling. There were reports of people experiencing nightmares, sleep paralysis, and even physical ailments after playing the game. Section 5. Echoes in the Digital Age. The Charlie Charlie Challenge highlighted the power of the internet to spread information, both true and false, at an unprecedented rate. It was a phenomenon that captured the imagination of millions, transcending borders and cultures. What was once a whispered rumor, shared amongst friends in hushed tones, could now reach millions in seconds. The speed and scale of this digital dissemination were unprecedented. The digital age provided a fertile breeding ground for the challenge, amplifying its reach and intensifying its impact. The internet acted as a catalyst, turning a simple game into a global sensation. Social media platforms became virtual campfire circles where stories were shared, embellished, and devoured by a global audience hungry for the thrill of the unknown. These platforms transformed the way we communicate and share experiences. The challenge also highlighted the blurred lines between reality and online personas as individuals crafted narratives that straddled the line between truth and fiction. This blending of realities created a unique and sometimes unsettling experience. Was it all just a game, a harmless bit of fun, or did it tap into deeper fears and curiosities, or was there something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? The line between entertainment and genuine fear became increasingly blurred. With challenges like Charlie Charlie, this unquenchable thirst for knowledge, no matter how dangerous, is a defining trait of humanity. Section 7. Charlie's lingering presence. Years after its peak, the Charlie Charlie challenge continues to cast a long shadow. It remains a cautionary tale, a reminder of the power of suggestion, the allure of the unknown, and the potential consequences of dabbling in forces we do not fully understand. The challenge may have faded from the headlines, but its legacy lives on in the countless stories, videos, and whispers that continue to circulate online and in playgrounds around the world. The question remains, was it all just a game, a harmless bit of fun? Or did we, in our eagerness to connect with the supernatural, awaken something dark and dangerous, something that continues to lurk in the shadows, waiting for its next opportunity to play?